Good evening and welcome to Conversation with Grandma Polly. This is season 4, episode 3. Did you know we use the word Uncle Tom too loosely? Josiah Henson is the man dubbed Uncle Tom. Did you know in 1830, Henson ran away with his wife and 2 children to Canada? Once in Canada, he helped start what was called a freeman's settlement, the British American Institute, which became one of the final stops on the Underground Railroad. He also returned to the United States to guide another 118 slaves to freedom. He also his first purchase was 20 acres of land. In total, he bought 200 acres of land. They started a school, a church, and other businesses there. I want you to hold that thought right there for a moment, and we'll be right back. Once again, thank you all for joining us. And I want you to listen closely because we have the Big Rig Kid giveaways. One set of the giveaways, we're giving away Valentine baskets full of goodies. And on top of that, a 60-second digital promo video promoting yourself or your business. And this video will be created by our amazing sponsor, KJ Multimedia Solutions. We will announce the winner on our Big Rig Kid book tour, which will be announced on Saturday, February 11th, live on Facebook on location at Reds on Union in North Carolina. That's where I'm launching the 2023 book tour. So make sure you share this video, tell a friend, share our partner flyers during the week when we put them out. And you have to do that every day up until February 10th, and your name will be entered into our drawing. Remember, once again, we're going to announce the winner on February 11th, so you have a chance to win every day. And don't forget to use the hashtag Grandma Polly. Without further ado, allow us to introduce you to the one and only Mr. Markus Cuttino. Hi, Markus, and welcome. I'm going to ask you to hold on for a moment so that we can get your introduction out here so people could become familiarized with who you are. And we'll go from there.
Tonight's guest, Markus Cuttino, is a native of Georgetown, South Carolina, but currently resides in Nashville, Tennessee with his wife, Brittany. Markus is a veteran of the U.S. Army and currently is employed as a software engineer for UHG Optum Healthcare. Markus holds a bachelor's degree in business administration and a master's degree in cybersecurity technology, both from the University of Maryland. Markus started his trucking business, All Gas, No Brakes Transports, in 2021, then went on to launch his book publishing company, Cuttino's Clubhouse, in 2022. Then Markus went on to become a published author and released his first book in 2023, which is an autobiography entitled Permanent Scars. To learn more about Markus's journey as a community leader and how to support his next annual turkey drive, visit Markus on Facebook at Markus Cuttino. That's MarkusCuttino. Visit Markus's business page on Facebook, Cuttino's Clubhouse, and Instagram, Cuttino's Clubhouse. So without further ado, Conversations with Grandma Polly, friends and followers, let's give a warm welcome to our very special guest, Markus Cuttino.
Good evening, Marcus. Good evening and welcome. You guys out there, please help us welcome Marcus. Marcus, I have to say, when I saw your book launch, that really got my attention. You know, we're both from the same town. A lot of y'all younger people. I'm like the old folks right now, like your grandma Bernice and all of them. Y'all
Yes.
know I don't know y'all young people. But I am just so, I was so happy. I was inspired to see the things that you were doing. And I was like, okay, we're going to reach out to Marcus and we're going to get Marcus on here because this is what we do. We highlight people who are doing positive things in the community. And we are more than joyful to have you here this evening. And I'm going to open it up to you, give you a chance to say something before we jump into the questions because I'm so excited to have you here.
Okay. First off, it was an honor and a pleasure, when I heard that you wanted to get in contact with me to be a part of your growing platform that you guys are doing and what you're choosing to do to, make things of awareness. All great people that get on here and talk, your show, your platform, your tour with the Big Rich Court Kids for the books. And I'm just excited and ecstatic to be here.
And we are more than excited to have you here. Now we're going to dive right in because I want to know where your inspirations and your motivations, where did those things where did those come from that just pushed you into writing your first book and starting your own publishing company?
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, definitely. Well, it all started where, it kind of, we see a lot of things on social media about, men can't cry, men can't do this, we can't have feelings. So I needed to learn, my own coping mechanism skills, outside of therapy, outside of things, outside of talking to people. And at first it was music, listening to kind of old school music. And then I started just writing, and that's what became therapy for me. Being able to express myself, pen to paper, and that was my inspiration. And so, just a thought, just jotting down a few words, and then saying like, "Hey, I'm going somewhere with this. Maybe I could turn it into a book." And Cuttino's Clubhouse that popped into my brain, and I ran with it. It's sort of like a name to leave behind for your legacy, for your family. And a representation of where I'm from and my origin.
Okay. I like that. Creative mind,
Definitely.
because sometimes we put limits on ourselves and we have the ability to do these things, but we either limit ourselves within ourselves or we allow other people to limit us. You know, People may tell you, I don't think you should do that, or man, you can't do that. It's not in you to do that. But you just
Yes.
stepped out on it and you did what
It's
you did. Go ahead.
it's sort of like the saying where they say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So the first thing is taking the shot, right? The first thing is having faith, taking the risk. So sometimes you step out on a leap of faith and with things in order, and with prayer and keeping the man above in your heart, and you'll win.
I like that. I like two things that you said, faith and prayer. And I know where you got that from. This wasn't something that just popped into you. This was something that was planted in you. And all of us, coming from where we came from. That was
Yes.
one of the things our grandparents, they instilled that if they didn't instill anything else. And I'm looking in your book, you were able to highlight your time spent with the untimely demise of your great grandparent, which I know both of them, and Bernice, she was one of those grandmothers that was in the church, and she made sure you went too, because that's what my grandmother did. Your father, your grandfathers, and there are so many others that have gone on that you lost along the way. And a lot of this happened during the time you was in the military. The vision you painted was so real, like we were all going through those moments right there with you. And for me, some of it could have been because I came from right there where you came from. But
Yes.
then when I see some of the feedback that you get, some of these people were not from where we came from. And this is still some of the same feelings they got from it. So you did an excellent job with that. The vision you painted, it was just so real. Can you describe some of those moments to us?
Well, my book coach, my mentor, Kanisha Griffin at Create and Blossom Studios. When I wanted to talk about things like that, touchy subjects, as you stated, the untimely demise of my great grandparents, my grandfather, my father, it was only right that, first the book was definitely dedication, towards them, but also she kind of made it clear that when you're touching on topics of those that are so touchy, in order you're telling a story, right? So you want the reader that's reading it to almost feel like they can feel those things where what you're talking about. So it was tough, but I have to put myself back in that moment. How did I feel when I lost my father? Replayed the day of what I was going through, what I was doing, who told me first of what was going on in the news. The same for my great grandparents. What was I doing that day? How did it truly make me feel? Tell it exactly how it is. And people gave, like you said, feedback. They said they cried. They said they never could imagine experiencing something like that. 3 years in a row, taking major losses for people that meant the world to me. So they definitely felt like they were right there. They definitely felt like they felt those tears, the moments that I shed, and the process that it took me to heal. And that was the purpose. That was definitely the purpose.
And I get it and I understand, because all of us have, been in those areas where we've dealt with pain. And forgive me, because I'm going to bring it in now. Where we've dealt with those pains, and even though we are beyond the time that those things happen, but there are times where there are triggers, and there are times where we reminisce and we still feel those pains. And I'm thinking that's how you came up with the title of your book, Permanent Scars,
Correct.
because it does leave a scar on your heart. I mean, it didn't kill us, but there is still some, aches and pains. So could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, permanent scars, right? So I got a couple feedback from others. They thought it was pretty catchy. Some people thought it was kind of dark, but I thought it was perfect. I thought it fit exactly of what was my point of my autobiography, my memoir, right? Because as you stated, you didn't have to ask me kind of what permanent scars title, what the intentions of it was, just by knowing about the book, just by reading, just by, seeing the summary, it's not hard for someone to put two and two together. He's talking about permanent scars. So things that he's been through that has affected him still today, eternally, for what made him the person he is today. So permanent scars. The more and more people say it, the more and more people read the book, the more and more actually like the title. So out of it all, I think that's probably one of my favorite things about it, the title, Permanent Scars, because so many people can relate. So many people have those permanent scars. I don't think it's one person in the world that can say they don't have something that affected them to why they are the way they are today, mentally, physically. Everyone has a permanent scar, right? It rides the coattail of every jacket. So
It really does. And where we're going next, I love this one because this fits any and everybody. You know, what effects did coming from a small country area of South Carolina have on you once you got the opportunity to experience more of the world? And I think this is a little bit of the conversation we were having before we came on camera, because there are things that affect us, and either it beats us or we fight it and we build on it. So I want to hear what you got to say.
Okay, so I'll start with, it's kind of the first thing is the Geechee accent, right? Before we came on camera, your brother mentioned like, okay, I hear your accent, but Marcus, where is yours? I don't really hear yours anymore. And just to chime in on that, that comes from the beginning. 2013, I graduated, and 2 months later of August, I was off into the military, right? So when you're in that type of position, once you're building yourself up in leadership, you kind of get tired of the Hans and what's that? What did you say? Repeat yourself, or the Geechee accent. So you kind of have to learn how to talk the talk and walk the walk, right? So where we come from, the small country town, trying to explain to someone, you're from the country of, there's no stores around. We have maybe one gas station and a couple of food spots and things like that, but they don't really understand. They don't really relate. So they don't understand of you having to, your younger days growing up, you have to kind of go outside and make a game to play around in the yard, or to run through your great grandfather's cornfield or farms, or a lot of people cannot relate to that. So I'm thankful for it, because I feel like it made me who I am. It made me strong. It made me seeing the side of both coins. So when I can relate to others, they probably have a hard time if you haven't been where we're from to relate to me. So um, it definitely it gave me a tough side. It gave me a shell that I had to break out of. At first it was tough. The struggle of meeting different cultures, different backgrounds. People come from so many different backgrounds of life, but it prepared me well. I can definitely say that it prepared me well, and I'm thankful for it.
I love that. See, I don't care if they call me Geechee or this because when we've been down the road over there and we've been down over yonder to play, or we've been across the branch, or mama would call us home and say, "Honey, children, what y'all out there for do?"
Yeah,
That's where we came from.
definitely.
That was the Gullah Geechee. That's where we came from. And I can remember growing up, and I had siblings that lived up north, and they would come home and, "Oh, you Geechee. Oh, you sound like this, or you sound like that, or, they all proper. Oh, why do you sound like that? Oh, I was always who I was." But then we left, and some of it has changed. I still have some of it. I could go this way, or I could go that way. We're going to fit
Right.
in, but most of the time I'm in between. And sometimes you hear it, it comes out real strong in the dialect. And sometimes, it goes the other way. But in your case, hey, Stony, in your case, you got away. And, sometimes people could be judgmental. You go back home, I run into people, and sometimes I'll remember a face, but I can't remember a name. And I'll ask forgiveness before I even speak. They'll speak, "Hey, Renee, oh, hey, how are you?" And I hope they will speak and give me a clue, so I can say, "Oh, you're so and so." But then when I
Yeah.
don't remember, I'll apologize. I'll be like, "I am so sorry. I remember your face, but I don't remember your name." I left home when I was 19. So that's been a very long time. But you have gotten away from the dialect. You got away from the dialect more than I did. Do you receive any kind of judgment on that?
Well, yeah, I received judgment from both sides actually. judgment from your friends back home. Well, I wish they kind of don't do it anymore, but at first, coming back home and talking so proper, right? Everybody can hear it. Like, man, wow, you talk proper. To me, I'm just kind of talking, but being in the corporate America now, and working in these working with these Fortune 500 companies and things like that, so on and so forth. You know, they are more so able to articulate the things I'm saying and understanding. But when I would have the more so Geechee accent, it was more so judgmental from them. Of first of all, well, I'm 27 years old now, but when I my first supervisor position, I maybe was 21. So it kind of happened pretty fast for me, with the military and then going straight into corporate America. So they're not expecting for um, a 21, 22-year old to have his master, to be supervising people that are older than him. And it took a few years, but I guess it's growing on everybody. And as you stated, I'm me. So everybody just got to accept me for who I am, take it or leave it type of thing.
So you mean to tell me when you first took to the world and going into the supervisor's position, and well, just when you first left home, when you telling people, I need you to go over there to do what you have to do. They look at you like it was crazy and didn't understand.
Yeah, they don't understand.
So
You know,
you took on their dialect, and yes, I say their dialect because we've been colonialized. We switch over and take over their dialect. But there are areas back home that we can still go home and hear that language because it's part of our heritage. And
right,
some people make fun of it, but it is really, there's a whole community that still speaks that way today. We drift into it a little bit, but they have the Galagichi, festivals and all those things. And I can't wait to get back home to get to one. But
right.
that's how it goes. So people do judge you according to your culture.
Yeah,
And you,
it could be very judgmental, and that my book kind of has a purpose in that as well, as being vulnerable. That was a message, that was a gem that I wanted to get out there. People may see me in this light of a lot of people, as most people see me, now they get to know me of the things I've done. My turkey giveaway, that I started last year. We were able to, give away about 62 turkeys, back to the community. And, people start to see me in the light of, he's kind of left the nest. He's doing great things. That's fine. I'm acceptive of that. I'm acceptive of being looked at as a person that's thriving, a person that's doing well. But, my message is also not to, you know, not to kind of get it misconstrued. I go through things as well. And if I could, be seen as this in your eyes, I can also show you in my book that, it's okay to be vulnerable. I have mistakes I've made. I have things that, I'm working on. I have things that have, affected me in life. And that's what permanent scars are. We have to kind of change the narrative. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to express yourself, and just show the world that even the most successful person is not perfect. So that's what it's about.
very true. And I like the fact that you speak of vulnerability because so many people suffer in silence, thinking that they're the only person who's going through, or they're the only person who has ever experienced this or that or the in betweens. And me personally, I believe that's where a lot of the depression and a lot of the anxieties come from because we suffer in silence. And you being, to hear you being a young Black man speaking up about that, because we're in the Black community, that has always been taboo. We're starting to speak of these things more. But to see a young man your age and of your accomplishments still being able to speak about that vulnerable side and mentioning the things that hurt and the scars that are there, I feel like it's going to personally help other people to open up too, because it's not so much of a taboo anymore. When we could say, hey man, you're going through, but I've been there too. I
Definitely.
feel your pain. That's where we need to get back to. And I think that's what you did with this book. I feel like that's what you did.
Definitely. In the book, actually, a part of the summary, I mentioned Brené Brown. He's one of the most favorite quotes that I'm, kind of rocking with today is that, one day you will tell your story about the things you overcame and the things you've been through, and it'll be someone else's survival guide. So that's what permanent scars is. That's what my book is about. It's about adversity. It's about the things I've been through, and it's about, what got me to where I am today. So that quote is powerful. It's meaningful, and that's one of the messages. We have to, as me and you spoke about, and I told you, things that I'm big on today are, being genuine. Being genuine in your heart, keeping a pure heart. It's not really about what others may do to you. Sometimes we try and play the tit for tat game. We have to change the narrative, though. We have to normalize things that should be normalized. Nowadays we normalize. If you look at social media, um, let's just say it's something negative. We normalize things like that, but we have to change the narrative. We got to normalize congratulating people. We got to normalize getting back to our roots. We're stronger together. We have to normalize moving in unity. We have to normalize just all sorts of things. Family and the ability to win, the ability to just know that it's okay. Everyone go through things. Maybe it's just your time. It's just your season. I spoke with someone today that we're a little down, a little stressed out about things, and it's just your moment, but we all go through it. You know what I'm saying? Only thing you have to do from there is it's simple. Focus on the things that you can control. If you can't control it, then don't really worry about it. But what you can control is changing the narrative, and that's doing the right thing, staying genuine, helping people when they need to be helped. If you can give a helping hand, do it, um, and not focus on, well, this person not doing it for me or that person not doing it for whoever. But we definitely have to change the narrative and rewrite the script because it's long overdue, right? It's 2023, so we got to kind of take back what's ours.
Man, you're not even Marcus sitting right there. There's Marty Cuttino. That's that old school. But I mean, you brought it home, and it's the truth. It's time to change that narrative. It's
Definitely.
time to start looking through a different glass because the opportunities are there, the abilities are there. I mean, we are here. And when I say we are here, it's not like we've made it, but we are here to where we've started. And if somebody else has the same desire to do the same thing, we can reach back and say, come on, we got you. We're going to take you with us. Change
Definitely. I
that
mean,
narrative as I got mine, you got to get yours.
yeah,
Because we're all struggling in this game.
we're stronger together.
And you speak like the old people, but I want you to hold that right there for a second because we got to do this tour promo and we're going to give away one of Marcus' books. So I want y'all to get ready. Can we have the promo, please?
On Friday, February 10th, we'll start at Sherman's Academy and then move on to the Marketplace Mall with John's Variety. And you're invited to come out and promote your information, so contact us as well. Next stop, February 11th, will be at Red's on Union in Concord, North Carolina. And this is a great time to bring the kids out and the parents for the Bullying and Social Media Dangers panel. Yes, definitely join us there and register to have your child be a part of this wonderful event. And then finally, in March, we're already scheduled to be in South Carolina. That's right, March 14th, we're at Plantersville Elementary School in Georgetown. And then March 15th, we're at Browns Ferry Elementary School in Georgetown. And finally, March 16th, we'll be at Carvers Bay High School in Hemingway, South Carolina. We are so excited about all that is to come. So we're asking you to check out our website. And remember, register now as limited spaces are available. And again, that website is bigrigkids.org. That's bigrigkids.org. All registration information is available there. Or text Big Rig Kids Tour to 404-500-7801. That's 404-500-7801, and we will make sure you get all the information that you need. Looking forward to seeing you at the Big Rig Kids and Conversations with Grandma Polly 2023 tour taking place now.
Okay, y'all, look. I'm looking at this thing and I need y'all, if you have not shared this video, share it. Miss Felicia, I don't know if we shared it to the Big Rig Kid page. If I didn't, could you please share it over there? We're going to go into this giveaway right now. And this is actually one of Marcus's book that we're going to give away. And I need my team to monitor the board. What is the real name? The first person who can answer this question will win one of Marcus's books. What is the real name of the man we so favorably love to call other people? Uncle Tom. What was Uncle Tom's real name? The first person who could answer that will win a copy of this book. Y'all got 60 seconds. Yep. Can I get a countdown? 60 seconds of music or something.
All right. Coming right up.
Yeah. What is the name? What is the real name of Uncle Tom? What was his real name that the book was drafted after? Not Marcus' book, but Uncle Tom's Cabin. What was his real name? Nobody was paying attention. Nobody was. Okay. All right. Jackie Singleton is the first person I see. Am I correct?
We have a winner.
Who's it, Kenny?
Jackie Singleton.
All right. Congratulations, Jackie. Right now those books are on back order because of the storm, but we will get it to you. And Marcus, can you tell them where they can purchase your book?
Yes, so it's available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
Amazon and Barnes and Noble. I'm going to ask you to explain to them because when you sent that information to me, remember I had to stroll down a little farther
Yeah.
to find it. So don't go and say it's not there. Go ahead, Marcus, explain it, please.
Yeah, so on Amazon or Barnes and Noble, you just type in permanent scars, and it's not the first thing that comes up. It's a couple other things that comes up before it. So, well, on Amazon, it's a couple other things that come up before it. So you may just have to scroll down a little, and it'll say buy Marcus Cuttino. It'll give you can either purchase the ebook or the hardcover copy. It'll have my summary up there, my bio, and yeah, that's it.
See, I'm gonna encourage them. Y'all purchase the real books. I don't like the ebooks. I like the hard copy books. So I'm serious because I'm building my library, and I have a lot of books by Black authors. This is something that you can pass down to your children, to your grandkids. Get them back into reading again. Get them off of some of this social media stuff. So I'm
Yeah,
encourage y'all to order the hard book. Say again.
I've noticed that reading. I really enjoy reading now. And it enhances your vocabulary. It just makes you smarter. Like it's you know 30 minutes out of the day, an hour
It
out of the day.
does.
Yeah.
It does, and it feels good turning the pages. I like that part where I could just turn the page.
Definitely.
Because after being in front of a computer so long, for me, it's like I never wore glasses until after dealing with the computer so much. So it just messed up my eyes, and that's what I'm gonna blame it on. Anywho,
I wanted to
Marcus, huh?
I wanted to touch on something that you said before we started the giveaway.
Okay.
And it was about, speaking about, we made it, and I did want to shed a little bit of light on that. Um a lot of people make excuses, right? But in all honesty, I feel like, you know, we had the president, which is Barack Obama. That's it's like the highest position you can hold in the United States of America as the president, right? So from that day forward, from that year forward, it's pretty much no more excuses. I mean, I'm not saying that it's fair. It's not going to never be fair, but it's also not fair for you know, a lot of people. It's just the way life is, right? Life isn't, it's hard, but it's fair type of thing. So I just want to touch on that. It's kind of no more excuses. I may had to work, 10 times harder to get to level 10, and someone may came from a background where they started at level 6 already, so they only have to go 4 spots to level 10, but it's still no excuses. You have to put the work in. They say anything worth having, you'll work for it. So that's the answer. It's no excuses.
I like that. I like that. And I also say, Marcus, I will speak about myself on that one. I've made attempts at many different things in life. Just couldn't
Right.
figure out what it is I wanted to do.
Okay.
I tried this, I don't like that. I'll try this, I don't like that. I'll try this, I don't like that. And I got into trucking, and it was like, I found it. That was the thing for me. Getting behind that big old steering wheel, driving that big old truck down. And there were people who would say, "Oh, you're a woman. You don't need to be out there driving truck. Oh, that's dangerous. You being out there by yourself." I understand, and I understood their concerns, and it was coming from a place of fear.
Right.
And I decided that I was not going to allow someone else's fear to interfere with what I felt I needed to be doing at that time. And a lot of times people operate in that because somebody else is afraid. Well, they told me I shouldn't be doing it because I'm a female. A woman ain't got no call out there. Well, I was always one of those rebels. Tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it just to prove that I can.
Right.
But sometimes people operate from their own fears, and sometimes they allow other people's fear to stop them. And that's something we need to, do away with.
Yeah. It's that changing the narrative thing again I talked about, right? We got to change the
Hmm.
narrative, man. We normalize a lot of things that shouldn't be normalized, and like you said, that's one of them. it's a lot of things, but that's why we're here. We're here to rewrite the script, and moving forward, things will be different. We'll change the narrative about things that need to be changed, and like you said, the concern, you take heed to it, of course, and you appreciate the concern, the love that was shown, the gratitude. But
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Because it was coming from a place of love, but it was also coming from a place of fear because it was something they hadn't done, and there was something they had never imagined. I remember after getting out of truck driving school, when you talk about changing the narratives, all of my training. I know some people may know the area and some people may not know the area. But all of my training every night for 6 weeks was through Fancy Gap. If y'all don't know what Fancy Gap is, there's a mountain that runs through North Carolina, and it's curvy and it's narrow. And in the big truck, when it's loaded, you can hear the engine purring going up the mountain. I remember my first 2 weeks out there, it was white knuckles. Y'all know what white knuckles is, right? You're holding the steering wheel like a little old lady, and you just holding like this. You don't want to look left. You don't want to look right. You just hold it and hope you don't get a little bump or whatever that's going to cause you to go. And those first 2 weeks, I was terrified. But the more I did it, the more comfortable I became with it. So when it was
right,
time for me to go through Black Mountain, which is another mountain in North Carolina, and we talk about them twin sisters out west and the Cabbage Patch, the mountains over here are not mountains until you go out west. So I was glad all of my training was through the mountains. So when I got sent out west, I was able to handle those mountains. I learned you respect the mountains, they're going to respect you. So when you don't know, you reach out to somebody who knows, and let them help guide you through. This stuff with the book, I had no idea what I was doing when I first started. But I started going to people who had done what I did
right.
that was willing to help me do what they did. We cannot be afraid to ask for help.
That's great
That's
that you
another part of changing the narrative. Go ahead.
definitely that's
Okay. So start over, Marcus, because there was a glitch there.
okay. I was just saying that it's great that you touched on that. Not being afraid to ask for help, right? That's one of the things that our culture we kind of lack. We shy away from. You'll see maybe someone that doing the same exact thing that you would like to do, but because of you don't want to ask them for help, but you would probably go ask someone else of a different ethnicity or a different culture, the tools and tips on it where you can get game from your own people. It's no right or wrong answer by either one that you choose to do, because sometimes our culture, we don't want to give game. We won't, they say the game is to be sold and not told. So sometimes we won't really tell you how to make it in the same industry that I may be in, that you're trying to get in. So it's all hand in hand, and how you choose to go about things. But we got to definitely get big on changing that narrative of those type of things.
Yes,
And
yes, it is. That's one of the key right there, Marcus. Sometimes we allow pride, foolish
right,
pride, to get in our way. Well, I ain't gonna ask Marcus because Marcus think he all that, or Marcus left home and oh man, he ain't know as much as he think he know. Or I'm gonna go over here and ask somebody who has never done what he has done to tell me how to do what he has done.
right.
And we have to get rid of that mindset. Ask me a question. If I don't know, I will find out for you. We can't be selfish. I heard somebody say, Oh, you give away too much information. You tell people too much. No, I don't. Because if
Never,
they're writing a book and I'm writing a book, they cannot write my book.
right?
You go in the grocery store, there's all kinds of bread in there, but you're going to buy the one that you like.
Message. That's just what it's about. We're just stronger together, and I know I keep harping on it, but it's up to us to change that narrative because as you can see, we can sit here and talk about so many things that need to be changed, so many things that we just got to take back. 2023. It's time to take it back. We can control those type of things, so it's just time to change the narrative. It's kind of the enough is enough saying, right? When you're tired of something, when you're fed up. So
You get tired, you get fed up, you'll do something about it.
exactly, right?
You act on it. Now this part, I really want to know. See, some of the other stuff I felt like I knew because I grew up down there, but this part I really want to know. You ended the book with the last chapter titled, What's It Mean to Be King? Well, tell us, what does it mean to be king?
Oh man. Well, this is kind of like my favorite chapter, by the way, right? I take you through the ringer
Okay.
to get you to who I am today. So, what's it mean to be king? Um, kind of spoiler alert. The last message, the last quote in the book, is by Jay Z, is by Sean Carter, right? And it says,
Mm-hmm.
people look at you strange, people look at you strange, saying you change, like we work this hard to stay the same. And I thought that that was perfect for summing up what it means to be king. So for me, it means starting my mornings at 4:30, starting my mornings at 4 o'clock. I hit the gym because it's peace and quiet. I run over to the gym. I plan out my day, I plan out my week. What do I want to accomplish today? I come back, I shower, I meditate, I get some good breakfast in, and I log into work on my desktop, and I kind of start my day. So, what's it mean to be king is taking the high road, right? You don't always have to respond to the negativity. You have to do things that you may not want to do. You have to remain pure in your heart. You have to remain genuine, even when things are not going your way. These are all of what's it means to be king. If you have it can be as simple as if you have a lady, if you're married, some nights you may have to rub her feet. You may not want to rub her feet, or you may want to go out and chill with the guys. If you have if you're a lady, you may had a long day at work, but you might not want to cook, or it goes both ways. So for me, what it means to be king is just everything that we talked about, everything that the book has inside of it that leads you up to who I am today. Is getting me there. The tired days. We can talk about Dr. Martin Luther King, a man that marched miles, a man that when everyone told him that the things he was saying, the narratives he would preach would one day probably get him killed. It did, but that's what it means to be king. It's so many nights that he probably said, "Man, I was tired. I'm not getting nowhere with this." But he took the high road. He created his own path, and those are all of the things of what it means to be king. It involves being tired. It involves long days, waking up early, long nights. Definitely remaining pure. Remaining pure in your heart, having faith, being there for family. Even when, you may feel like family and friends aren't there for you, you just have to remain pure. You just have to take the high road. What's it mean to be king? It's not an easy thing, but for me, it's not taken lightly at all. So that's what it means to be king. You have to be great. You have to um, take the high road, even when you may not want to.
How old you say you is? Somebody, your birth certificate wrong.
That's what it means to be
You
king.
27 years old, and I can't say you speak like a grown man because you are a grown man. You speak like a mature man because age means nothing. If you don't
Correct.
have the growth and you don't have the maturity, the age means nothing. And you speak as a very mature man, like a man who has been here before and you came back full of wisdom.
Maybe it's because
I'll tell your mama
perseverance.
she ain't gonna convince me that you wasn't here before because it's awesome, Marcus. I love it. I love the things you do. And when I reached out to you, we as a whole are looking forward to collaborating and doing some work together. Because I mean, you have proven who you are. You owe no
Definitely.
one an explanation. You have proven who you are, and you just Marty Cotton okay back here. Yes, yes, but this is just so awesome. Someone says, Marcus, you're such an inspiration. Keep moving. Yes, you are. Even to me, just hearing you speak, it's like this dude got his head on his shoulder. We're gonna have to get you into some of our workshops
Definitely.
because what
I
you're
look.
doing is awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
It is totally awesome. And you know what? I'm gonna be quiet and I'm gonna let you talk before we go. You got 5 minutes. I'm gonna just shut up, take in
All
some of
right.
this knowledge.
Okay. So 5 minutes. Um, for those who are watching, for those who may watch it later, um, I'll give everyone a chance. I'll give everyone a challenge, right? So at my debut of my book release, 2023, I said the word was perseverance. So we'll start there. For 2023, the word is perseverance. When you think of things that you may be going through, um, a rough day, a bad day at work, just whatever, maybe the kids may be frustrating, annoyed, just whatever you may be going through, tough relationship problems, financial stressors, depression, perseverance, right? Just every time, look up that word or maybe save a picture of it as your wallpaper, save the definition and, understand it, take heed to it, and just always think of perseverance, right? You're still here for a reason. Um, you get two things in a day, right? When you wake up, you get two things, a chance and a choice. So with that, that
Mm,
means you right? So with perseverance, you'll keep going. It'll be all right. It's not something that no one else may have not went through. Maybe in a different form, but that's what perseverance is. It keeps you going. It tells you that you can get over it, even on the worst days. Someone may be going through something worse. So just always remember that. And that's my challenge for everyone, and even to myself, because we all have tough days, but I remember perseverance. It's gonna be all right. If I can control it, I do what I can to control it to fix the situation. If I can't, I move on from it. It's erased. It's out of my mind. But just remember that. That's the challenge for 2023. Perseverance. You get two things in a day: a chance and a choice, and that's my message.
mm, man. Ooh. So with that chance and that choice, to say like the old folks used to say, honey chillin', y'all got a chance to win that Valentine basket and to get that 60-second video made of yourself or your business. And Hannah got a choice for this year video into the drawing and the chance. So make it happen. I like that, Marcus. Hannah got the choice and the chance. So Hannah keep on doing great things. Marcus should keep on doing the great things over yonder. Because that's what you for do. That's your for purpose here. You came here with a purpose. That's
Right.
the way they said it, and that's the way I'm gonna give it to you. But I thank you so much. And we got to go into thanking our sponsors. If anybody out there want to be a sponsor, y'all know any young people this month that we can feature a highlight, please reach out to us because this is what we do. But right now we're going to go into thanking our sponsor and I'll be right back.
Grandma Polly and the Big Rig Kids would love to recognize and thank our sponsors for their generous support of the Big Rig Kids organization. Simone Enterprises and Entertainment Company, KJ Multimedia Solutions, and TNT, your special agents real estate team.
And one more friendly reminder, we will not be live next Thursday because next Thursday starts the Big Rig Kid 2023 tour. And we have friends that are going to be out there with us, Big Rig Kid Friends book tour. But on that Saturday, we will be coming live to you guys from Red Zone location. So make sure you guys tune in, tell a friend about us, and in all things, we appreciate y'all. Marcus, come in, give one final word, and then we're gonna go.
Okay. One final word. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. I hope we were able to give you guys a few gems, a few things to keep in your heart. Remain genuine, remain pure, and let's do more things like this. Let's help change that narrative. Let's give back to the community. If it takes, they said it takes a village, right? So let's do what we got to do to change the narrative. And let's make it happen. We can come together. It's all sorts of things out there that we can start doing. Annually to just get our message across. And thank you for having me. Thank you for reaching out to me to allow me to be a part of your platform. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. And if there's anything I can always do to help, don't hesitate to contact me. And it's been great.
Oh, don't worry, you stuck with us. You gonna be back on here, but we gonna collaborate on some things out there. You stuck, and all I want to say is, honey, children, we hope to see y'all next Saturday, and peace out, cause we love ya. Love you guys.